Peter Charles here of Hooked Fly Fly Fishing, and today we're going to do a simple little streamer. It's a tractor pattern. It's called the Sissy by Mac Warner of British Columbia, and it resembles my Mickey Brown, my Mini Brown I should say, that has been very successful for me over the years, both with trout and with panfish. So you could use this fly either way. A smaller size, it would work great for panfish, and a lot of the same color scheme basically. So let's get into the Sissy by Mac Warner and look at the materials we're going to be using. So I'm going to start off with a Daiichi 1740 size 8, and as you can see, this is an up-eye hook, and I prefer that style of streamer hook where the hook eye points up. I've got a video on that that discusses how flies ride when you have an up-eye hook, and I feel for these small streamers they work better. Our thread is Vivus A-dot black. Our tail is red hackle. The body is yellow floss. And the wing is going to be mallard flank. You could use a variety of flank feathers for this. One thing I'm going to talk about before we get into that is the pattern calls for mallard or flank feather to be flat on top, and when you're buying mallard in packs like this, flank feathers in packs like that, it's tough to find a good feather. So I'm not going to use that specific technique. I'm just going to put flank on top. But if you can get some good quality feathers, you should try and make it sit on top with the straight quill. Think of it as a Joe Smelt type streamer. That's the kind of look you're looking for. Okay, let's get started here, and this is a pretty quick tie. So I'm just going to start my thread at the beginning, and I'm not going to coat the shank of the hook with thread. I'm going to start off right off with my tail. Take a clump, and I'm going to start right here. And you'll see why I do that. It helps me to keep an even body with the yellow floss. Bring it just past the hook point. There we got a good tail. Let's get rid of the waist at the beginning. Now we're going to tie in our yellow floss, and we're going to make 3 passes with the yellow, and that way we don't have to worry about color bleed through. And we also don't have to worry about making the underside of this super neat, because with 3 coats of floss it evens out. So I'll start by getting a wrap right at the back. Make sure our tail stays in position. And we'll come forward. Right to the front, come back. Yeah, piled it up there a little bit. Let's back that off. Now you can see I'm feeding this from a bobbin. It helps the floss stay flat. It also helps me not waste floss by using too much or not enough, which is worse. Also, it works quite nicely when I'm trying to do what I'm doing now. Is keep control of the floss, don't have it damaged. Get a nice smooth application of the floss. Okay, tail wants to move there. Now the one disadvantage of this fly versus my mini brown pattern is this fly has no rib, and that can cause problems with floss getting all chewed up. The plus with that though is when your floss gets very chewed up, it gets more of a translucent look to it, and it can be actually more attractive to the fish. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm not going to go with the nice flat top. I'm just going to grab some flank feathers. You want this to be the, go back to the length of the tail. There we go. Put a few wraps in there. Make sure it's sitting on top nice and square. It is. And I'll put a couple of firm wraps to hold that in place. And I'll trim off this waist. Now we whip finish. And finally some UV glue. Okay, there we go, our Sissy. Rather simple little fly. I like the look of the color combination. Again, it's very similar to my mini brown. And I think this should be a good fish catcher. You know, I've caught a lot of trout and panfish using my mini brown. So with this in the appropriate size, I have no reason why I shouldn't do the same. So give it a try, the Sissy. Cheers.